If you create surveys for your clients, customers or visitors on your website, this Survey Maker is the best plugin I have came across in a long time. We're going to start with the free version, but if you decide to buy it and you want to help me out, I will be forever grateful. Go to wp.discount/surveymaker. This link is also in the description of this video and of course in the comments. And then we are here at the website of Survey Maker from IS Pro Plugin. If we scroll down, there is over here is a try free version button. Now let's click on this one. And then over here, we press on this blue button, download. Log into your WordPress website. If you're still logging in using WP Admin,
No!
that's not a very safe way. So please watch my tutorial about securing your WordPress website completely for free. Very important. And on your dashboard, we go to Plugins, Add New Plugin. Then we click here, Upload Plugin, and select the file we've just downloaded. Open it and press Install Now. After that, we press on Activate Plugin. Now we can see on the left side, Survey Maker. Let's click on that one. Now I'm going to walk you through all the settings and all the options inside of the Survey Maker plugin. And then we're going to upgrade to the Pro version so I can show you exactly how it looks and if it's worth your money. The first thing we see is that there is already one survey available. We're not going to use this one, so we're going to press on Move to Trash because I'm going to show you how to create an entire new survey from scratch. Now, before we're going to create a new survey, we first need to create categories. So click on Survey Categories, and we have one category uncategorized. We're going to press Add New. I'm going to make it about a product. All surveys about products, and we're going to press Save and New. Then I'm going to create another category. That one is called Employees. These are surveys about employees and customer satisfaction. And we're going to press Save and Close. Okay, now we have two different categories to create surveys on. Then we go back to Surveys over here, press on Add New. There are also a bunch of templates that we can use inside of our WordPress website. However, the best way to learn how to create a survey is by doing it from scratch. So we're going to use a blank survey. Press Choose. And then we are here. The first thing we're going to type in is, of course, the title. This survey is a customer experience with the new GameStation 5. I will be talking about all these steps in just a second, so you know exactly how this works and what you can expect. Then over here we have survey templates. If you click on it, then we go back to the survey templates, close them. And in the Pro version, we also have the question library, which enables you to quickly put in questions you've already created. And then with this button, you can also import questions. And the first thing we can add in here is the section title. This will be shown in the front end. It'll make the GameStation 5 better with your feedback. And then you have a chance of winning super prizes. Who doesn't want that? Now let's start with the first question. Of course, how long do you own the GameStation 5? And if we go over here, we can press on this button and you can open up the editor. This way you can make it, for example, bold. How long do you own the GameStation 5? Then we press Apply Changes. You can also add in an image. If you click on this one, we're just going to add in the GameStation 5. Here it is. Press Upload. And then you can see edit it, delete it, or add a caption, and then the options occur right below it. In this case, I'm not going to put it in here. Here we can change the kind of question. You want to be a radio, a checkbox, drop down paragraph, short text, number, phone, yes or no, email, name, and all these things in the Pro version. Wow, those are actually a lot. All right, I'm going to show you all of these questions, and then we're going to walk through the Pro version to see even more. Let's go with the radio. First option is just bought it, less than 1 year. Add option 1 to 2 years. Add option 2 or even more than 4 years. All right, great. Then we can over here bulk add, but you can only do that in the Pro version. Then you can just duplicate this question. If you want to have another radio and just a slight change, just press on this one. Here we can delete it and we can make this one required. So they have to fill in an answer. And then we can see those 3 dots in here. When you click on it, you see all kind of things that should happen when a person fills out this question. Move to section, question ID, logic jump, user explanation, hide results, admin note. All these things can be used to make your survey even better. In our case, we're not going to use this right now. Then we're going to add in another question over there, and it's going to be a checkbox, multi. What version? Now let's change this one to bold. What version of the GameStation 5 do you have? The first option is, with a checkbox multi, you can select multiple answers to this question, because maybe some people have more than one GameStation 5. And then I'm going to add in a new question. And this time it's not going to be a drop down, it's going to be a paragraph. Tell us in your own words what you would like to see improved. And then we're going to add in a new section. And this section title is, tell us more about yourself to win fabulous prizes. The first one, let's get a short text. And the question is, what do you do for a living? They can answer it, but I don't see any limitations on how much can they add for it. So I guess we just see it on the front end. I don't know, would be a nice option to change it in here. Maybe in the Pro version. And then we're going to add in another question, which is a number. And the question will be, what is your monthly salary? Just a normal question. And we're going to add in a placeholder so people know exactly that they need to enter this. Then we're going to add in another question. And the question will be a phone. A phone, of course. On what number can we call you? And with this one we have a note. Phone questions type can contain only numbers and this one. So we can also just put in +31, 6, that will be the Dutch numbers, something like this. And then I think this is the last question. Yes or no. Did you ever let your younger sibling play on your GameStation 5? And then the answer could be yes or no. But you can also add in another option. Okay, now let's add in the last questions, which are the email. And the final question is over here, the name. How can we call you? All right, so this survey is now completed. So we're gonna press on save. Great job, our survey is now created. We can use this shortcode to post it on any kind of page. I'm just going to do that one. I'm going to copy this one, press on done. Then I'm going to go over here to pages and I'm going to add in a new page. And the page is called GameStation 5 survey. And then I'm going to press edit with the Divi builder and I'm going to add in my shortcode. Now, if you don't use Divi, if you use Elementor or maybe you just use Gutenberg, you can just paste it in inside of the Gutenberg editor. But I don't want to have the ugly sidebar, so I'm just going to use a code module from Divi. Just paste it in the survey shortcode. We're going to save it. Let's press exit Visual Builder. And now we can see our survey in our website. I think I want to hide this title. Let's just fill it in and see how this works. We go back to our dashboard and we see, hey, we have a red dot in here. Submissions. Yes, we have one submission of our survey and that's correct because I filled it in. We can view the details in here. Well, it's very nice. Wow, you can see a pie chart and in here is a horizontal bars. And in here again a pie chart. This is really amazing. And if I want to switch to the horizontal, I have to buy a Pro version. Of course they do have to make money somewhere. This is very nice. Then I go back to edit my survey because we are not done at all. On the right side you also see over here add a question, add a section. I've already shown you both of them, but you can also import question in the Pro version, make all questions required. Let's click on it. And then all these switches just went on. You see that? Really useful. Then we can just save it. And then the last one is enable points for answers. We're going to check that in the Pro version, what this is all about. Another really nice feature in here is you can collapse all of your questions. So now you only have 2 sections and we can expand them all. You can also do this per section in here, collapse it and expand it, or go over here and delete it or duplicate it. This is nice, 4 questions inside of the first section. I really like this interface, it's really neat. All right, let's go to styles. In the styles, we can choose different kind of themes. You can also change the colors in here. This is the main color of the survey. In our case, what I don't like about the survey is this orange bar because we are using dark blue colors and also a golden accent inside of this website. So I'm going to change this color to my golden accent color over there. And then when I refresh my survey, it looks something like this. This is way better because of my entire style. The text color should be our dark blue used in this entire website. Then the loader color, when the survey is loading and you won't see it immediately, then we have this color. So these options to style it is really extreme. I mean the font size, desktop, tablets and on mobile, the alignment, the image width and height, the answer font sizes. The only thing what misses, in my opinion, is the actual font. And of course you can change it with custom CSS and that would work, but I would like to see it over here to add in your font. But for a free version, all these things, it's pretty extensive. I like it. Then we scroll up and we go to Start Page. This one is only for the Pro version, and here you can show a page before starting the survey. It's actually a very nice thing. You can also create it manually. If you really want a free version, you can create manually a button that goes to this page, of course. But why not if you already have it? Let's go to Settings. Then we have the survey status. You can publish it or put it in draft. Then of course the category. This is a product survey. Scroll down. Then we can enable confirmation box for leaving the page. Sure. Enable previous button. You can also disable the next button. Enable clear answer button so you can clear them and go again. I don't think that's needed. Then we also have a live progress bar. Ooh, nice. Oh, wow, here it is. You can also style it completely. This is really great. I like it. Then we scroll down, we also have question settings. Enable randomized questions. That's a very nice feature. If you have long surveys, could be very useful. Just make sure to exclude the URL in your caching plugin. Then we have question numbering. We can give them a number or a letter. Let's go with 1. Here we can show questions count. If you do this, every section will show how many questions there are inside of this section. Then you can also randomize answers. Here you can number your answers, also possible. And also HTML in your answers. If you want that, people can make them bold, underlined, all that kind of things. Then you can also allow some HTML. Then we have the survey main URL. If you fill this in our case, this is the page. Inside of the backend, you can click on view and then you go to the front end. Really nice. Enable full screen mode could be logical. Show section header info. Ah, that was the one I didn't want to see. Then we have enable the survey loader. Let's use this one. I like this Windows style. Show the title. I don't want the title. That was what I was looking for. Change the creation date. Oh, that's okay. Just leave it like that it is. Silly plugin. Then we scroll down and we can see all these pro version. For example, enable copy protection. If you enable this one, you won't be able to press Ctrl+C on your keyboard or right click on the survey. Then you can enable text to speech. Pretty nice for people with a visual handicap. Allow collecting information of logged in users. Sure, expand, collapse questions, display all sections. Enable chat mode. You also have a chat mode. Again, this is really extensive. I really like these options of the Pro version. Terms and conditions, you can enable this one and just put them in there. And then we have also the possibility to schedule the survey, of course. Press save. And then we're going to scroll all the way up. And then I'm going to the results settings. And then we can create a thank you message. There are also variables available. If we click on this one, you can see all these things that we can use in this message. You will be informed on the user email if you won the prize. You can also do a redirect to a URL, a delay to a new tab. Let's go to the front page in a delay with 20 seconds. And then the loader should be, of course, this one. I like this one. You could also use some own text or your own GIF. That's really nice, but I'm going to use this one. And you can also enable the restart button so people can go again. I don't want this for this survey. Then you can show results, and then you can also enable an exit button. If you click this one, it will be a not completed page, especially created by me, so people who press on exit will see my angry face. And you have also a social button so people can share it using social media. And then we can enable all these networks. It isn't called Twitter anymore. But then they can just share it. And here you can add in some text. I really like all these features in here. And here we can choose to show the question titles as HTML on a submission page. Let's just enable this one. Press save. And then there's also a button in the Pro version, Save as Default. If you enable this one, then with every new survey, these settings will be applied immediately, so that you don't have to do it all again. And then we go to conditional result. Now, if we have the Pro version, I'm going to show this in just a second, and you press on refresh question data, then you can make conditions based on the questions you ask and the answer that people are giving you. So this way you can let them go to a page, an email, redirect them, go to a product in WooCommerce. This is pretty neat. I'm going to show you this in just a second. Then we go to limitation users. Then we can limitate this survey. For example, the maximum number of attempts per user by ID, user ID, cookie, or IPN cookies. I would say IPN cookies. If you have the Pro version, you can go with different kind of attempts. Then you can show a message. Hey, you have already filled this in. Something like this. 1 survey per person, please. And then the redirect URL. And then we have a delay. You can even limit this survey only for logged in users. Or you can make the max count of takers in total. So only 150 people can do this survey and then it needs to be shut down. And in the Pro version, you can also limit the access only for different user roles. For example, customers or visitors. Or access only to selected users, so you can make surveys for only specific users. And then over here there's another interesting one, a password for passing survey. So if you pass the survey, you get a general password or a generated password. And you can limit them even by country in the Pro version. Only people from the Netherlands or the United States can do this survey. Really nice. Press save, and then I go over here to email. Now, the email settings are only in the Pro version, but you can send an email to the user when they filled in your survey. You can also send the submission report, the summary, or the individual, which is the biggest one. I'm going to show you this in just a second. You can send an email for testing, send an email to admin, admin configuration, send a summary. Then we go to integration, because maybe you also want to send parts of this survey to MailChimp or Zapier or ActiveCampaign, or maybe to Google Sheets or to your GetResponse. But maybe you also want to use PayPal for it, or the reCAPTCHA to make sure that no bots can fill it in. These options are really nice. All right, I have shown you all these options. Now let's go on the left side. I've already showed you the categories, so let's go to the front end requests. It seems in the Pro version that you can request access to a survey and that you can approve them in here. Then let's go to the next cool thing, a pop-up survey. Now we can create survey that will pop up. Press on add new. Now we can enable our pop-up. The title will be, can we have your opinion in just 1 minute? I want to show the title. Wow, let's change it, of course. All these things except for the font. Then we can select the survey which they want to use. Well, we only have one survey, so we're going to select this one. The width of the pop-up and the height. The background color, hide it after 1 submission. Yeah, that would be logical. Hide pop-up after closing. Yeah, that would be very nice also. Oh, you can also hide them per device on the Pro version. I like that. I like that a lot. Then you can select the different kind of pages that you want to show the pop-up on. Only in the Pro version, but this is actually a very needed feature because you don't want to show it immediately on the home page. Trust me. Then we can change the position. Then we can trigger it on load or on click. You can just use classes or IDs on this. Nice. And then we also can on exit in the Pro version. Then we have the enable close pop-up after finish. That would be a great idea. Let's do it in 2 seconds. Then we can close by clicking outside the box in the Pro version, enable full screen mode, and close by pressing escape. Save it! Alright, then I can see we have one pop-up survey in here. I'm going to show you this in just a second. Then we go to submissions over here. And then we can see that, hey, someone has filled out our survey. And that's true, because it was me. On these submissions, you can see a very nice dashboard of your entire survey. In here is a summary. In the summary, you can see a pie chart with the total submissions and what the answers are. You can also switch to horizontal bars and vertical bars only in the Pro version. And then you can see the results in this nice graphical way. You can also go to individual, and then you can just see the responses. This is just one of one in our case. You can see the name, the email, the IP address, submission date, the device that we're on, and then you can also add in an admin note And then you can see all the individual answers I gave on this survey. And the nice thing I also like is that you can export it in the Pro version to PDF or Excel or just print it. That's pretty great. Then you go to submissions and we can see all the submissions here in one go. And then we go to analytics, and in the Pro version you can see all the analytics of this survey. Let's go to the next one. On the Pro version we can import and export entire surveys. Then we go to general settings. In the general settings we can change a lot of things. For example, the default parameters for surveys. And then we scroll over here to see all the other options. We can see do not store IP addresses. Can be useful because of the law, and you have to ask them for cookies and all these kind of things and privacy policies. But the limitation by IP option will not work if you enable this. So I'm not going to enable this. Then we have the anonymity. You can not store names and emails, accept words, animations, menu notifications. Who will have permission to survey menu? Only admins in this case, because it's not the Pro version. You can also block users by IP addresses, send automatic email reporting to admins. And then last but not least, you can make your survey multi-language. Now, this is something very interesting, but you have to type in all these shortcodes. I don't know if that's really the way to do it, but okay, it might work. It might work. Then go to integrations, because we need all those API keys and all these secret keys and client keys with reCAPTCHA. So yeah. Then we go to message variables. We have seen this one, the current date, all the variables there are, and you can use inside of the email or the thank you message or, well, a lot of these things. Then we go to text customizations. This is very nice. Wrong shortcode, must be valid email address. Here you can change all these buttons. And then we go to shortcodes, which has also a few amazing things. You can display survey summaries, because if I want to display the summary with a nice pies and charts inside of a dedicated screen on my business in my hall somewhere, and you can see the pie charts and the customer satisfaction, this is the way to do it. It's pretty nice. And there's also more shortcodes in here. Wow, there's a lot of shortcodes in here. I'm a bit surprised. All right, let's go to how to use. Then we have just a video and also some FAQs. Nice. Then our products are here. We can see a few plugins of the developers. They have a lot of more plugins. I've created tutorials about Quizmaker, Pop-up Box, and some other ones, so you can check them out. And the last option is the Pro features, which we are going to see right now. So go to wp.discount/surveymaker. And then we also, have 50% off on the Mega Bundle. Well, that sounds really nice. Let's go to the pricing, click over here. And then we are here. All of these licenses are a one-time payment. I really like that. No yearly, no monthly, just a one-time payment for a lifetime usage. And a developer and agency version, we have lifetime updates and support and unlimited websites. The only difference is when we scroll down, we can see different kind of options with the different plans. So summary emails, all these integrations are just not included in the business version, but they are in the developer. However, not MailPoet, not multilingual, not check text to speech. But on the agency version, we have everything. So I'm going to press on buy now. Then we're going to sign up, fill in all this information. We can pay with PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, or even with a bank card. And then don't forget this checkbox and press on checkout. Once you have downloaded the plugin from your account, we go to plugins, add new plugin. Then we press upload plugin and select the plugin we've just downloaded from their website. And then we press install now. Then we press replace current with uploaded. And here we are. Now we go back to SurveyMaker, and of course all your surveys are still in there. So let's edit our survey. Because we have added the URL where the survey is put on my website, you have over here this view button. Really useful. Also in here is an AI version to create a survey. When I now add in a new question, then you see that we have all the available questions right now. For example, the linear Likert scale. I love this. How would you rate the durability of the controllers? And we can do 1 to 9. And then the label of the one is, and 1 is the worst I've ever encountered, and 9 is then the best, like holding a rainbow in my hand. And let's go with another one, the Net Promoter Score. Well, the difference between these two is actually the way it looks. Here we have radio buttons and here we have squares. Let's add another question. We go with star rating, of course. Your judgment based on years of using it. Well, 1 would be worse than Acolyte, and 10 is even better than Deadpool 3. Let's add another question. Then we go with the, we've shown that one, the number also inside of there. Phone date. What would be the date? Oh yeah, of course. And this one is required. Then we're going to add in a new question, which is the matrix scale. Now the matrix scale is really nice. Pop quiz hot shot. First row is, when did the first Mario Party arrive? And the second question is, let's add in the first column, like 1982. And let's say we have 4 columns, 1998. And then, well, let's just move them around a bit, like this. There we go. Press Ctrl S on your keyboard to save your entire form. And then you get a pop quiz like this. When did the first arrive? And you can choose, which is a really nice question. I like this one. It's great. And then we also can add in another question, matrix scale checkbox. So it's basically the same, but then you have checkboxes and you can check multiple items off. And then we have the same, but then we have checkboxes. So we can put in the right checkbox, but you can even check more boxes if you're not quite sure. Very nice. Let me only show you 2 more. So the slider. Also the slider is very nice. What also would be very nice is a like and subscribe to this channel. Let me just add in one more. It's the HTML field. In this HTML field you can add in everything you want and you can mark it up with HTML. Logical, very nice. Then we've talked about all these different kind of questions, which are really great. Alright, then we scroll all the way up. In the Pro version we can also add in points. Now, if you want this, not all questions are possible to give points. Only the radio buttons and the checkboxes are available to giving points to those questions. But it's a very nice feature. Then we go to styles. In styles we can change it to anything we want right now. Go with elegant. And then this entire survey really feels different. So I like this. And now we can also create a start page for a survey. Let's enable this one. Now, then you type something that you want to see over here. Then we have a start button position. Let's put it in the center. You can change the start page styles, the background color and the text color. And then you can also add in a custom class so we can really style it with some CSS. But let's press save. And if I then go to my survey page and I press refresh on my keyboard, then you can see it will only take you 3 minutes and the text we've added in. Now, this is very nice. We press on start and then we go with the survey. As you remember, I also created a pop-up for this website. Also, the start page is also inside of the pop-up. And when you press on start, you go just with the entire survey over there. Then we go over here to settings and now we can do anything we want in here. We can create posts for survey. We have categories. You can enable the live progress bar, enable the clear answer button, disable the next button. All these things are now possible. Also terms and condition, right to left direction. If you're in a other country, this might be useful. And you can add previous submission only for logged in users. Well, all these things we've talked about are now available inside of the Pro version. Now, another thing I want to show you is the conditional result. Let me show you really quick how this works. If you press add condition, then you can select any question you have in here. For example, how long do you own a GameStation 5? If someone is 1 to 2 years, then they get a result message, an email, you can redirect them, or they can see a WooCommerce product. I'm going to show them my Dump Wedge Max product if they press on how long do you own a GameStation 5, 1 to 2 years. Let me just save this. And if I now go over here and I click 1 to 2 years and I scroll down, nothing happens yet, no redirection. And if I now press on finish, because of the conditional logic, I will be redirecting after 20 seconds to the Dump Wedge Max. And we see this message. Everything works really great. We can also share it on social media. If you're looking for a survey plugin, this even works better with more features than, for example, Gravity Forms. I really liked it. Limitation users, then we can use to limitate it only for logged in or user roles or everything we've seen. See the email settings, from email, subject name, all these things, all the integrations are now available. Then we of course need to go to settings in here, and then we will go to integrations, and then we can fill out all these integrations with our plugin. I worked a lot with Gravity Forms, for example, and this survey maker is way better in terms of creating surveys for customers. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll always reply. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.